Welcome to Timely's review on Mission Impossible. This is part of our Member Win series when we take a look at old movies and just see how they were. We do one of these every Tuesday.
We also review new movies every Saturday. As always, if you're short on time, there are timestamps in the description below. You can fast forward to any part of the video you'd like. Let's get to it.
When it was 1992.
This movie starts out so charming. It's so reminiscent of the old James Bond films with Sean Connery, with all the little gadgets he has, the little one-liners he does. Maybe not quite as sexist, but it's still like the classic spy movie that we expect from a Mission Impossible.
Right. I mean, you have the typical scene of they're all sitting in a circle together in the very beginning, and they're putting together a game plan of how they're going to get this knock list, which is a list of a lot of the aliases of a lot of special agents all across the world. So a very important list. And so they're all given special assignments. They're all given, okay, Claire, you're going to be here at this time, and Ethan, you're going to be here at this time. And it's like this banter that's back and forth that's kind of cool to watch.
Yeah, it is. And this is where the movie really starts to shine, is once Ethan's team is pretty much eradicated, he's left to his own devices where he needs to figure out what's going on and what is really happening here. And that's where we really get into the mind behind Ethan, where the movie shines. We figure out the team he wants to make, the thought process he's doing, and the gadgets he wants to use throughout the whole mission, and it's masterfully done here.
Right, and Tom Cruise is disavowed after the whole mishap, and everyone gets murdered on his team, and he's the only survivor, and he's trying to figure out all these things. And watching the movie, I'm like, okay, Tom Cruise's character is pretty freaking smart. So it's a little unbelievable because he's got an answer for literally everything.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a gentleman in his 30s. Not saying guys in their 30s aren't that smart, but I mean, he doesn't have that much experience, you can tell. So him being able to know all those things is kind of unbelievable, but it's passable because he does it so well. He executes it so well, and it's so fun to watch.
When it was 1992.
So Tom Cruise is the pallbearer of the film and really the pallbearer of the whole franchise. He carries it all the way through and does a fantastic job. And I would say that Tom Cruise in general does a lot of overacting, but he really sells it, and it doesn't bother me as much. His buddy Nicolas Cage, however, does a lot of overacting that's pretty terrible. Makes you want to put your head right through the wall. And I think Tom Cruise, how he sells it is you look in his eyes and you're like, he actually believes he's Ethan Hunt in this movie. And you can tell he's a little bit crazy in real life.
Yeah. Other than Tom Cruise here, the big standout cast-wide is Ving Rhames here. He's so good at playing an actor. He's just this hacker that you believe, and you just want to get to know him, and you can trust him. And that's so weird in the spy world. And yeah, I don't know. It's just something about him just really stands out to me. I really can't put my finger on it, but
he's just a likable guy. Like
yeah.
in Chuck and Larry, remember when he comes out as the gay guy? And he's like, fellas, I'm gay.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, Ving Rhames.
That's my homie right there.
Yeah, that's Ving Rhames.
Yeah.
And so I think that's an excellent scene in itself. But another standout to me is John Voight, Angelina Jolie's dad. And he does a good job as the team lead and just kind of leading everyone and telling them what they're going to do. Everyone trusts him, and he betrays everybody, essentially kills everybody in the end.
Yeah, I don't agree with this. I think he is really good. He really stands out throughout the entire movie, and then there's something about when he becomes the villain, he really switches into the villain mode, in my opinion, where he gets the whole like, it was me the whole time, you didn't see it coming, did you? And I don't know, it just takes me out of the movie, even knowing like the cheesiness and the time that the movie was released. It's not a good sell for me. I think he really missed the mark there.
When it was 1992.
The directing in this film is exactly where I think he wanted to go with it. It was this campy spy movie that reminded you of James Bond era in the modern times, and modern times for the 90s, of course. and it was seamless. It was just fun, campy, and just a good time.
Yeah, I would agree mostly. I would say that there was nothing really distracting with the directing. However, there was one edit that was particularly bad and really got on my nerves. It was the scene where Claire is laying on the ground and she's like, Ethan, come over here. And like reaches out her hand. He comes over, grabs her hand, they kind of look into each other's eyes for a minute, and then it just kind of fades to black. It's not even a slow fade, it's just kind of like a, and then it goes into the next scene. And it's a scene that's completely like irrelevant, distant from what was going on.
Right, it's like awkward sexual tension that doesn't make sense in this universe.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make sense, and it just was a bad edit.
Yeah.
Like just
strictly bad.
Just strictly bad.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure if it was like signifying the end of Act 2 and the beginning of Act 3 and just kind of an old school way of doing it. But I don't know, maybe I'll go back and I'll see if it was the actual beginning of Act 3.
Where it was like ironically like some type of a placeholder for the edit so he knew where to edit. Yeah, who knows?
Maybe it was just sloppy.
Yeah, that was a good find.
Yeah, you never know.
When it was 1992.
So the honorable mention of the movie is by far where Ethan and his new team are going to infiltrate the IMF headquarters and they're going to get the knock list. And you know, they're getting past all these security measures, doing all their secret agent stuff, using their gadgets, and they get to this one like top secret room. It's that white sphere of a room where the knock list is actually on the computer. And basically Ethan Hunt is belaying from the ceiling and trying not to set off any alarms and trying to get into the computer without getting noticed. It is a very tense scene. There's no music, there's no soundtrack during it. All you have is Tom Cruise's performance and the guy that's the actual IMF employee going in and out of the room, making things very dangerous. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's truly breathtaking. Our dishonorable mention is definitely Agent Eugene, who's played by Henry Rhames or something like that. And he is just frankly terrible. He is just not fitting for the movie. He's a dick when he doesn't need to be. He's not concerning for Ethan's life when Ethan is clearly in danger, when all he's ever done is really given back to the agency. And even when things are said and done, he's still just a dick. And I feel like they were trying to give this like army sergeant role maybe, or fill that void, and he just did not do it for us.
When it was 1992.
So overall, Mission Impossible is just a fun movie. Campiness aside, you really get past it, and I would say that it's the start of a new generation of spy movies. James Bond is kind of the old school, and Mission Impossible is the new school. Obviously, we're up to movie number 6 coming out this Friday. It stood the test of time. I'm going to give the movie an 8 out of 10.
This is a very good spy movie. It's a lot of fun. The villains aren't very strong, and the story, frankly, is not that strong. But if you're just looking for a good movie that's a good time, and with Tom Cruise, this is a great one to look at. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching our video on Mission Impossible. Please leave us a like, subscribe, and all that good stuff below.
Absolutely. And be sure to tune in on Saturday. We're going to be reviewing Mission Impossible Fallout, and it's going to be phenomenal. I think it's going to be the best movie in the franchise. Reviews are already in. I'm really excited.
Hopefully it's our first 10. We'll see.
Hopefully.